Hello dear friends, welcome to Manifest Grace TV. Before we begin, kindly hit the subscribe button, like this video and share it with your loved ones. Your support keeps us growing and helps us bring you more stories that inspire, intrigue, and remind us of life's greatest lessons. Now settle in, because what I'm about to share with you is not just a story of betrayal, but of resilience, transformation, and poetic justice. The beginning of betrayal. My name is Isabella Carter, and I am 33 years old. If you had met me 3 years ago, you would not recognize the woman I have become today. Back then, I was the devoted wife of Michael Lawson, a respected businessman in Chicago. For 6 years I poured my heart, my time, and my soul into our marriage. I thought we were building forever. But forever, it turned out, had an expiration date. Michael fell for someone else. Sophia Brooks, a woman 10 years younger than me, bold, charming, and all too eager to take my place. The day he left was ordinary for everyone else, but for me it was the day my world collapsed. He stood in our kitchen, looked me in the eye and said, "Bella, you're different now. I need someone who excites me. Someone who makes me feel alive again." And just like that, he walked away. The whispers spread quickly in our social circle. Friends stopped calling, neighbors gave me pitying looks, and Sophia paraded around in the life that used to be mine, traveling to the vacation spots I once dreamed of, wearing the jewelry I had carefully chosen for anniversaries. There's no pain quite like watching your replacement flaunt your old life. The fall and the rising. For weeks I could hardly breathe. I shut myself away, skipping meals, ignoring calls, avoiding mirrors. But one night, my best friend Amelia Grant sat me down and said, "Isabella, this is not the end of you. This is the beginning of who you're meant to be." Those words lit a fire in me. I started small. A gym. Healthier meals. One step at a time. Slowly, I began reclaiming myself. Months later, I didn't just look different, I felt different. Stronger. Lighter. More alive. I took a leap of faith and signed up for a business program I had postponed for years. When I graduated, doors opened. New job offers, new connections, new horizons. I started traveling, rediscovering the joy of life outside Michael's shadow. And then fate introduced me to someone unexpected. Jonathan Pierce. Tall, elegant, with a quiet confidence. Jonathan didn't just see me, he valued me. He cherished the small details, listened when I spoke, and stood by me in ways Michael never had. For the first time in years, I wasn't surviving. I was thriving. The invitation. 2 years after the divorce, an envelope arrived at my door. Cream-colored, gold-embossed, and written in a handwriting I knew too well. Michael's handwriting. Inside, an invitation. "You are cordially invited to celebrate the wedding of Michael Lawson and Sophia Brooks." And at the bottom, a handwritten note. "Thought you might want to see how it's really done." I almost laughed. Arrogance. The cruelty. He wanted me there not as a guest, but as a spectator to my own humiliation. But he had no idea. I wasn't the same woman he left. And if he wanted a performance, I was ready to give him one he would never forget. The preparation. Jonathan, my new partner, didn't flinch when I showed him the invitation. He simply smiled and said, "Then let's make sure they see the real Isabella." Together, we planned our quiet but powerful arrival. I chose a gown of deep emerald green silk, elegant yet commanding, with a shimmer that caught the light like water at sunset. Jonathan wore a classic black tuxedo that made him look like he'd walked straight out of a magazine cover. This wasn't revenge. It was revelation. The wedding day. The day arrived. The venue was a sprawling vineyard outside of Napa Valley. Guests were gathered in their finest clothes. Music floated in the air. Laughter filled the courtyard. And then our car pulled up. A sleek black Bentley, polished until it reflected the world around it. When Jonathan stepped out, heads turned. When he extended his hand and I stepped into view, the world seemed to pause. My gown shimmered, my smile calm and collected. Whispers swept through the crowd like wildfire. Inside, Michael stood at the bar, a glass in hand. Sophia greeted guests in her lace gown, radiant, But the moment her eyes met mine, her smile faltered. And then Michael saw me. For a moment he froze. His jaw tightened, his glass trembled. He blinked twice as though trying to clear a vision he didn't want to believe. Jonathan's voice carried through the room. "Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jonathan Pierce. And this is my fiancée, Isabella Carter." The word fiancé fell like thunder. Conversations stopped. A gasp rippled through the room. Michael's face drained of color. Sophia's hand tightened around his arm. I didn't need to say a word. My presence was enough. The turning point. We stayed only a short while, long enough for photographs, polite greetings, and whispered shock to spread through the crowd. Then, as quietly as we had arrived, Jonathan and I left. Outside, as the car door closed, I glanced once more at the venue. Through the glass windows, I saw Michael still standing, frozen. His perfect day unraveling with every breath. The aftermath. That evening my phone buzzed endlessly. Messages from Michael. "Isabella, can we talk? I made a mistake letting you go. You didn't have to show up like that." But I didn't respond. Because the truth is, it was never about him. It was about me reclaiming my power, my dignity, my life. The moral lesson. Friends, let me leave you with this truth. Life has a way of circling back. Sometimes the ones who broke you will be forced to witness the strength you built from your brokenness. But hear me clearly, revenge is not the goal. The goal is growth, healing, rising into a version of yourself so complete that the people who doubted you become footnotes in your story. So, never waste energy chasing closure or validation from those who left. Instead, invest that energy in becoming the person you were destined to be. Because true victory is not in proving them wrong. It's in living so beautifully that their absence no longer matters. Dizzy, thank you for listening to this story on Manifest Grace TV. If it touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share so more people can find encouragement in these lessons of life. And remember this. Sometimes the best revenge is simply becoming untouchable.